Game 3 is here. This should be fairly interesting.
야 얘네가 미드리드 한다.
뭐 그냥 그브 쏠려고 하면 안 돼요?
오케이.
그브가 용 쳐줘야 될 것 같아. 우리
네, 다 아직 다 밀고 있음.
미드 나 웨이브 16렙.
허서 용 치고 있다.
보고 있어 보고 있어.
앞에.
난 여기서 자리 잡을 거야 나.
용자 이거 너 이를 좀 아껴줘야 돼.
우리
아니,
스마스
여기
별로긴 한데 그냥 포킹해봐. 계속.
이거
야 이거 얘 아지르?
포킹.
아지라. 형 이제 그만 쳐도 돼요.
용 그만
오케이,
쳐,
아직,
그만 쳐.
아직.
포킹해, 포킹해.
아지라 용자.
야 들어왔다.
야 스마트 한다 얘네.
스마스 해볼게.
볼게.
이겼다.
먹었어.
앞에 거 천천히.
앞에 천천히.
앞에.
That's a lot.
나이스. 뭐야 이거?
아 괜찮아. 끝났어.
나이스. 아 파이팅이야. 가자. 야 건부야 스마 뭐야 너?
탈론이야. 이게.
나이스. 용준이 형 수고했다. 나이스.
Jeez, you can hear their joy.
You just heard the insane comms from Khan and the rest of Dam1 here as they took the win over T1 in the semi-finals in Sounds of the Game presented by Bose. Gentlemen, it is 1-1. We are all tied up. And
They
let's
don't
see
look
what's going
the
to change
same
as we
sort
hop
of
into the draft. I feel like
excited
draft has been
here.
so beautifully
look
pivotal in
pressured.
this series already.
Certainly has. I mean,
And
we've seen
drafting
Zillion,
game 1
Yasuo,
was a
Irelia,
massive
Malzahar in
blunder,
the
I
World
would say.
Finals, like crown vibes right
Game
now.
2
One of the
was
single best
a
players
story
in the world
of
on
the Quiana Malzahar.
and utilizing it extremely
Game
effectively.
3, it's not going to be the story of the Quiana.
But
She's
EG
taken
now
away.
on blue,
Rakan's
though.
taken
That
away
was
as
something that we
well.
talked about at the end of last game. How will things shift? Well, Kiana Rakan already taken off.
EDG are on
This is a big one.
blue
What they're
side as well.
actually
I'm
gunning
actually
for
surprised
when it comes
the
to
Rakan
first
get
pick,
took
because
off.
these are very different bands to come in
Nami,
here. It's double
Yumi
support
removed
bands.
by
And Dom here
Dam1.
right now.
And we're seeing some slight variation because there's so much focus on the bottom
Blue
lane
side.
community, you know, double banning on these enchanters here. The Nami ban on the red
Viper's
side
got
actually,
his
so they can't
Aphelios
get the
still.
Lucian
Jhin.
combination.
So,
Aphelios might be
Yumi,
actually banned by
Ezreal
Dam1.
gone. Nami, Lucian gone. Aphelios, Lulu is the last one left for this EDG bot lane. So Dam1 now have a choice
EDG?
because you know that Aphelios is going to be the priority. So you could leave Lee
Could
open
get that
right
big
now
powerful
and say,
pick.
we will happily
You either ban
give you
Lee
your Aphelios so that we
or
can get Lee in
Jarvan.
and then they can just get themselves a
Jarvan.
GG.
And Twisted
Yeah,
Fate though, you're
banned.
giving over so many. They're trying to
There's
get the
quite
trade
a
on
lot
the
of big
backside
picks
for the
still
Lee
up
Sin
and available.
And the Twisted Fate. How
So you're
badly
either
do you
gonna
want it?
take
I
the
actually
Lee
absolutely
Sin
love this though because it
or
means
the
that you leave
TF.
up so many priority picks. So now you've got
So Dam1 can
Aphelios,
go
Lee Sin
Lee
on the side of
and
Dam1 here.
Aphelios.
You
Yep.
take that trade.
Yeah,
Right?
Yes,
that's
we do.
big.
It's a really strong way to set up that 2-for-1 trade, you know, because you are on red side, so leaving
What
all of them up.
can
and then doing the
EDG
target
get? I
ban
mean,
last game
Thresh
at the
to
Tarkin is a
stop
lot
the
of
power
value you can
picks.
get.
And if you get
Lulu?
last pick LeBlanc, that is really frightening.
LeBlanc
Especially if you are on
is
the red side,
obviously
because then
up for
you get to
Dam1.
ban out the answers to it, as well as the Jace. Looking to come in for Flandre, a big favorite for him and a good pick away.
Graves
from Khan
is
as well,
gone
especially
as
now
well,
that
so
Graves
yeah,
is being
Jace
banned
makes
away.
sense.
This pick, like, it can't be LeBlanc, so it is going to be that ultimate 3
So
picks.
Xin
for
Zhao
Dom.
This
come
is
through.
such an insane
Dam1
topside early
have
opening of
so
the
many
draft,
good
though,
picks
for
right
the-
now.
For the side of EG. When you have a Twisted
Like,
Fate supplementing the
no
pressure
joke.
of Jace,
You've got
this provides
such a
so much
solid
kill
amount of
opportunity
engage
up
with
there.
Canyon's
JJ
Lee.
on the Xin
You
Zhao
got
can
your
go
fellows
up,
there for a
repeat
ton of
visits, Twisted
burst.
Fate. There is a reason
Go
that he has
Leona
been banned for
maybe,
so long
or your
throughout the
support.
knockout stage here at this tournament.
Silas
So
would
much
make
side lane
sense,
control
obviously,
afforded
into
by
the
this
TF
And I was
because you
actually
can
just
seal
thinking
away
about it, right? And
Destiny.
I was thinking LeBlanc the obvious choice. They hovered that one first, but the Silas has been the popular
Bans
answer.
wise
Twisted
for
Fate, we haven't
the
had to
second
talk about it,
phase.
'cause Twisted Fate's been
It's going to be
permabanned for what feels
ADCs
like 3 months.
yet again.
And it has been popular,
Ziggs
but it hasn't been
removed.
effective
Ezreal maybe?
in a lot of the counters
Yeah.
to Twisted
Jhin.
Fate. So we're
Jhin
gonna have
could
to see
actually get
if
removed.
Dam1 are actually the ones that can do
And
it.
then you remove
yes,
the
you can steal
Leona
away the
field
Twisted Fate ultimate and try
for
and
Dam1
cover there
as for
and try and match you know, that
EDG.
map mobility. But
I
early
think
on,
that would make
especially,
some
too,
sense.
South has to trade a lot of health
So,
to try and gain access to that
realistically,
mid
you're
wave,
gonna
and it allows
get
some pressure to really build on the top side of the map.
I think that EDG need to consider
Something
a Kennen ban
solid.
as well because you kind of look at this draft from Dam1 and obviously
Ironically,
I,
I
think
would
their
say
priority would be to try and match in the mid jungle 2 versus 2.
the
A
draft
very
right
volatile
now
part of the map, and
is
as EDG tries to go top side, you expect
still
Dam1 to head towards
EDG
the bot
favored.
side of the map. So some of the things that can
It's
still have impact on,
got
even if you put
Jin
behind,
still up and
are
available
things
with
like
the
the
long-range
cannon
picks
that
with the
just
TF.
offer so
That is
much
still
teamfight value
powerful.
and also complement
Jin
this
could go
FLOS
quite
extremely
easily
well.
into EDG's
Well, I have a
draft.
feeling my Waters
Leona
there
can
might
go
be a
quite
couple
easily
more.
into
I don't know
EDG's
why.
draft.
Just have a feeling.
But I still
Cog
feel
Lulu
that
could be on
Damwon's
the
going to
table.
lock in
Of course,
Leona 4th.
Still up and
And
very,
then
very strong, especially when there's not a
EDG
whole
have
lot
to look for
of,
something
magic damage.
else.
The Lucian going to be the final ban. Certainly
Lucian
aimed against Khan, of
ban.
course,
Yeah.
because he'll get counterpick. I expect Thresh to be picked up here as a common pairing alongside the Aphelios. Oh no,
Gragas.
going to step away from it. A lot more disruption would be a potential, and flexibility with the
I'm not a fan of Gragas
You
in
can
this
engage or
draft.
disengage with this champion, and also you can sustain
If it
through
comes
some
through.
harassment on top side and not play so up into
And
the
it
chase
has.
and
I'm not a
into
big
that
fan,
Twisted Fate
honestly.
Open arms that is going to try and pull off
Kennen
those
is
ganks
still
on
up and
you.
available
Like the
for
Lucian
Damwon. They
ban here,
could have
some
combined that with the
respect to
engage
Khan.
from
Team did
the
get him that pentakill as well
Gravitum
earlier in the
Aphelios
tournament. He's
ult,
had
but
quite a tournament as far as the last
mean,
dance goes.
Yeah, exactly. But I think
it does give over
the fact that
Leona
Gragas can
Jin
be support or
to
top lane
EDG.
is also very strong. They can choose their counter.
So
If the
you're
bottom lane
giving
looks too
a
strong,
powerful
Jin
bot lane
and
over.
Leona is going to be a pretty standard lock-in and something they
Thresh
should have
could
been expecting.
quite easily come
So now
through
you could just put Gragas on the bottom side of the map and use him as disengage when
to
Leona
kind of
decides
deal
to
with
leave.
the
They have a lot of
Leona.
options at their disposal. We also did see
But
Khan actually bring
personally,
this out as an answer.
the Gragas could
their
go
best of 5
support.
against tier 1, and he basically just played weak side right. But the amount
Not
of
a big
disruption
fan,
that it can offer
honestly.
in a team fight as well.
And
Jhin suddenly becomes a lot harder to play every time you ult. Well, there's the risk of the Gragas ultimate knocking you
That's
into
the
the team
Braum.
or just interrupting it.
That's
There's
a
a lot
lot
of
of
options there for Damwon,
knockups.
but it's definitely not a top side
honestly,
for
you've
them.
got
But
a
also,
lot
I
of
think what's great
Yasuo
about this Gragas is it
combinations
offers them
there.
another form of engage, because when
But
you kind of look at this draft
Braum
from Damwon, when you have the
with
Braum, you're kind of relying on
Aphelios,
Lee Sin ultimate,
use
perhaps Silas
the
stealing away a Leona ultimate as a means to start a
Severn
fight
gun,
if you're even looking for a fight.
red
but
one
Gragas adds that
with
additional
the
pick threat
ability,
and disruption that can make their
and
team
yeah,
fighting
that
that
triggers the
Yeah,
Braum
EDG
passive
have
quite
drafted
quickly and
themselves
nicely.
A lot of priority
I
here
still
as far as
feel though
choosing the
that
engagement.
there's
Damwon
quite
investing pretty heavily in counter engage
a
and
lot
of
more
answer
damage
and
on the
shadowing
EDG
sort of
side of
situations here.
things.
So EDG
As
put up on that
Damwon
pedestal
is
to be able to
very,
determine a lot of these early movements
I
and
would
see if they
say,
can start to open up this
lackluster
lead,
in
whereas
damage,
Damwon do
because
have some
Lee
answers, but they
can
have to
do a
be
lot of
cautious
damage, but they
early on.
usually
And
build
also,
Goldrinker.
another thing about
Gragas
Damwon
is
they
probably
don't
going to
play
go a
for
bit more
points. They are
tankier
so
in
good
terms of the
at
build,
weak side bottom lane.
because they don't
Aphelios is not a
realistically
weak
need
side
the AP
champion.
because they've got
Aphelios will need
Silas.
to put resources in.
Aphelios is a
We're
lot of
already going to
damage,
see a pivot
and
a change
then
up
the
for how
Braum
Damwon
is
are
very
going to navigate
defensive and
this
protective,
game,
so
and I'm
not
looking
much
forward to
damage in
seeing
his
how
kit.
Ghost
As
can hold his
for
own here, because this guy, I
the
swear, when it comes to
EDG
international
side of things,
tournaments, he
you've
triples
got
his skill
Jin,
level.
which is a lot of
Like, I'm
damage.
so used to talking about Ghost,
Leona
he's
is
the weak
engaged,
link.
so
Oh, if
not
you're ever
that
gonna
much.
beat Damwon,
You've
it's
got
through the bottom
TF,
lane.
who isn't
Doesn't
that
work
much
when
damage,
you get to the
but
World
he is
Championship.
very
Well,
powerful
they're
and
putting
locking
him
you
to
down.
the test right
Jace
now,
is a
putting
lot
him
of
on that
poke and
Aphelios
prodding and
bed.
damage.
They certainly are.
And
What
Xin
always
is a bit
impressed
more
me about Ghost was
bruisery.
it was when he joined Damwon that
So
you really
realistically,
saw
the draft,
the
in my
outburst
opinion,
of this
favoured
Damwon
EDG
becoming
in
a
terms of
huge
the pick
contender, both
potential
domestically and
and the
internationally.
Pope.
So he is a large part and a key
And
part of their success.
as
We heard
such,
from
I
Viper
think that
himself,
they're going to win
Ghost
this
has
game.
learned to be exactly what Damwon needs. So let's see if he can
Let's
be
look
what
at the
Damwon
runes.
needs to get them an edge in this best of
Conks
5.
across the board
many
for
members
Damwon.
have
It
made their way
is
to the
FaZe
top
Rush
lane.
Gragas.
Yeah, a little bit of a meeting here.
And
as
FaZe
Maker's gonna
Rush
get the bad
Jace.
news. A lot of friendship there, but the Winter's Bite not quite able to travel enough. of a
Nothing
distance.
else out of the
I'm really glad that
ordinary
you brought that up, because
on
Viper
either
was
side of
very
things,
respectful,
so
to Ghost in exactly.
it looks like
that
we're getting
interview
AP
you're talking
Gragas
about.
top.
And it was really good to hear from him, and the fact that he knew that he needed to be respected. Viper always been a very,
And now
very
I'm laying back
intelligent player,
because
and just so good
I'm
at
in that
everything
situation
around
with
the
this
game as well as
video
just pushing his buttons
where-
correctly. So great to see from the guy. But the thing
There we
was,
go.
Ghost and Nuclear had basically the same playstyles. Just Ghost played
There
the
we
weak
go.
side bottom lane just that little
Let
bit
me
better
get
than Nuclear.
comfy.
Fit into the jigsaw puzzle that was Damwon Kia much better.
Well, now he's got to play into Jin Leona with the Twisted Fate on the opposing team. So yes, he's got cleanse.
That's
but you
also
only
quite
got one
interesting.
cleanse.
Cleanse,
There's so much.
exhaust on
Easiest
down
cast
one
to curse
side.
of our lives.
Heal, ignite. So we're not getting double exhaust this
See how
game.
he does. Early ward invested from Showmaker.
So
Very
that's
common.
kinda
You see
nice.
this early ward invested from EDG
Obviously,
to the red
I
buff
would have
to get a bit of
possibly
information.
expected
Curious as to what
Leona to have gone
Canyon
to the
decides to do with with his
exhaust
passing? Will he look for
if
an early
Kennen came through
top
for
gank,
down one.
or instead will he just do a
But
topside clear?
obviously
and
it
pan down
didn't,
towards
so
bot?
we're
The fact that he's
getting-
doing Raptors into Krugs, and then red. He's trying to get that
Ignite, so
respawn
a lot
timer
more
starting
kill
up earlier so that he
pressure
can
on
invest
down
more
up
into
EDG's
clearing his
side.
camps and, you know, getting more gold
it
into
should
his
be
back
quite
pocket
interesting.
as the red buff is likely going to be the next step.
Yeah, well, the
As
big
Aphelios
reason he's
can step
definitely
up with
not
the red gun
pathing
and
towards top
heal
side is
up,
because you don't want to
means
path
that
into
lane pressure
pushing
should be
top
in
lane and mid
Right
lane
one's
matchup
favor
because you
early.
can't get your scuttle grab. And
Top
so you
side
really
should be
have
Jace
to
favored.
look towards the
Mid
bottom
lane
half, and so
should
yeah,
be
he's
TF
doing
favored.
Min-maxing.
exactly small camps
Jungle
first so you can
should
get them
be fairly
respawning,
even.
end up on the bottom side of the map because guess what? Jace and
yeah.
Twisted Fate are going to push in
Overall, it
both
should
of these
be a
lanes for
fairly
EDG.
standard
Then it's up to
game.
for EDG though, and for
It says,
JJ.
as a lot of
Can
poke
he
gets put
actually
down
cover
onto
and
Scout.
work off of those pushing lanes to create more of an advantage? As Canyon might even pass through mid on his way down to bottom.
See whether he can possibly
get a
find
gang.
something. A flash on the table
going.
right now as the chains will
Gone to
connect.
duck
There's the
line,
gold
gold
card. This
card,
could just be
and
first
that's
blood.
just
The flash
flashes
over
over
the
the
wall. The
wall.
double flashes.
That's
And that
damage.
should secure.
And
the
he
goal.
gets
The chain
away.
comes in
He
and
heals.
Scout survives.
He heals off.
Canyon
Was
actually
that a
cancelled
corrupting
his
potion?
auto attack and couldn't get it onto Scout.
Oh, level
that
up.
should have been a kill for Damwon.
He
Double
shoulda
flashes
died.
invested, and Damwon fall just
I want to
short.
see that
The
again.
smallest margins, the difference between life and death
That was
here
so
for
close.
Scout. He barely survived
He
off of
shouldn't
that
have lived.
power dive. He's right back to it with the teleport out here, though.
And immediately
It
coming
still
back and
was a
putting
pretty
damage
efficient
down.
gank from Canyon
Cyrus
because it
will
didn't
have to
use a
back
lot of
soon.
time, but taking his flash and actually sustaining that much damage
Jesus.
from the tower means
That was two
he's actually going to
flashes
give up so much priority. So he went back
in
to
terms
wolves,
of
heal off of
summoners
those,
for
then
the two
transition down to
summons
that bottom
that
scuttle crab.
Yep,
Scout
push in
had.
here from Damwon on the bottom side.
Scout
of the
has
map,
got
able to utilize
concealed spellbook,
this,
so
Aphelios
that still
Braum quite
favours
effectively right
EDG.
now, but nothing too much is
Two
going to
flashes
come
for
from
the
it.
price of
Canyon
one.
on the bottom side means that Damwon
Yes,
here
please.
can feel very confident.
And the TP's
Doing
burnt
this,
here by
taking a bit of
Showmaker
damage, but
anyway
he's
to get
Leona,
back to lane.
Never
So
get the
as a
idea that
whole,
Leona is killable.
that
is,
favoured
rule number one when it
EDG.
comes to League of Legends.
They got away
Braum
with
in a
it.
similar boat in many aspects.
We need to temper ourselves
Yeah.
when it comes to the bottom lane, I think.
Like,
Yeah, there'll be a lot
what?
of trading for sure, but whether or not we'll actually see any deaths is very dependent on the junglers.
So
And
will we
perhaps
get a
mid lane
replay? I don't
intervention. A
think
lot of
we will,
summoners have
okay.
been burnt. Level 6 is still a little bit away, but it's that top side of the map that we're really looking at for EDG. You can see a small CS discrepancy starting to build up for Flandre, but he is keeping that wave underneath the tower. He gained information on where Canyon was. He knows that he cleared his top side first, then passed towards the bot side of the map, and it's at this point where he now needs to be a little bit cautious because supports are going to go back to base, and they're going to be looking to roam around the map, and with those top side camps available, this is a good opportunity for Damwon to look to try and attack Flandre.
So you can't just having a drink up here towards the top
So
side. Feeling
right
pretty
now-
good. Only 6 CS behind, but you expect Jace to have
Welcome
control of
to
this
the
lane.
Jace show.
Absolutely. Things
Pretty
gone
easy
pretty
for him
much
to
as
do
expected. We'll see
work
whether the junglers
there.
are going to spot one another, as right now it's Showmaker that's closest to JJ. He's just in this mid lane, hanging out.
Yeah,
Spotted now as the Scribe's Bloom
And
comes out.
and there's a
Showmaker
big
could get zoned off
extra
the
small
wave here.
objective now around this mid lane
A
as far as
big extra
JJ actually hovered.
yeah,
Could have kept
right? All the
Showmaker off the
sizes.
wave a little
It's
longer.
all wrapped up around
And so
mid lane
far,
because of all the
TS
flashes that were blown here.
forced one
Looking for
CS
those repeats,
loss.
and now you get to see these supports coming too.
Two.
So there was a small window there where Mako
Quite a few
actually got
CS
back
actually is
out
gonna
onto the
be
map
lost
first
here
because
to
Beryl and Ghost decided
Showmaker.
to stay for an extra wave in bot lane. That means that Mako
Good
is
plays
currently
from
only level
EDG, I
3
guess.
and Beryl is 4, but they couldn't take
Keep him off
advantage
the
of that
wave.
window in mid, and as you rightly said, both supports were looking for it, but I think in Beryl's case, he was more aiming to cover, and now you can see him sweeping out that vision. Where has Mako warded? What little traps has he set up that I can clear out for my mid laner? He's not able to find anything, so now he'll make his way back towards bot as this wave is now making its way towards the tower.
Yep, the Twisted Fate homework ward comes in just to make sure that they can spot him
Vision
potentially moving down
can
for
be
a
cleared out.
Destiny. That will get instantly cleared. Of course, EDG, no strangers to that ward being a necessity, so they're going to be fighting over that position quite a lot.
You could have a play here
Fine,
top.
Blaze his way in,
TP
it's
could
good
come
trade.
through.
The only thing I really
Never
wanted to
mind,
highlight there was the
no one's
potential bot lane
CP is
dive.
up.
There's the level 6 from Scout, and immediately
But
EDG should be looking to make a
here
move. EDG know that there's no ward in that brush.
Destiny
And
isn't
Ghost is doing what he
available.
can to just clear out the wave with the Inferno.
The
JJ
bouncing
moving
bomb
on in,
landed
clears some
onto
things
the
out, but it
Braum.
looks like the bottom lane are going to be okay for
So
the
he could
moment.
be locked
Canyon
down.
spots out the Xin Zhao, Scout moving on in as well. This could very, very quickly become
Showmaker
dangerous for
knows
Damwon here,
Scout's
but right
here
now,
because he hasn't been
EDG
in lane
holding
for
on
that
to the
long.
trigger.
Yeah, and you can even see in these
And
map
yeah.
movements from top side already Flandre pushing out on
Good
top side,
work,
hovering down for a half
bro.
roam towards bottom. Twisted
EDG,
Fate
I guess
moving
is
in. They already
called
cleared
the
out that ward
Scuttle.
that was behind red to to really
Obviously,
make the most of this
that
leverage that
does
they have
mean
around
that
Dragon.
EDG
No fight explodes.
map pressure
Well
bot
done here by
side.
Damwon again.
Destiny can
coming
always
into
come
it, we're
out.
talking about them having to be the ones
And
to play more
Damwon
cautiously and having
have
to
to play a bit more
respect this early priority
respectful
from EDG.
here, bot
Yeah, I
side.
really love the use of priority as well. It really is
That's
a
why
dance.
we
You might
actually
look at
see
this
them
and
on
say,
the
oh,
turret.
lost state, nothing's happening. But the
Because the
fact
TF
that
can
Flandre
come
gets
out
to move
whenever.
down, the fact that you have EDG all coalescing on the bottom side of the map, means that Damwon have to answer that question instantly. They have to be communicating all the time to make sure that they're not able to be capitalized on.
I would like to see EDG try and find a successful TF ultimate before the Herald spawns, though. See if they can burn a few more flashes, maybe get an ultimate out here and there, just get that small advantage
Ignite
ahead
and
of the Herald,
flash
because
on
every single game
on
this series
Scout
there has
now.
been some contest over the Herald. Last game, EDG
He
just kind of
has
watched
got
Damwon
the,
take it, but you know EDG is going to be in a position
pretty
to
big
try and contest that objective because
damage
of how much
tools.
both teams value that first Herald.
Honestly, I
Now
would have
Damwon here
possibly
dealing with
preferred
this 2
the
versus 3 on the
Lost.
bottom side of the map. Canyon
Instead of
well and
the
truly far
Ignite,
away
because
from
you
this
obviously
situation and
have
no
the
teleports
Ignite
are
already
available, so
on the
Damwon having to play
Leona.
pretty defensively. Level 6 gain for
And you
Canyon
could kind
as
of
he
lock
dies over
down,
this wall, and
shut
there's
down
5
either
seconds
the Silas
until
or
Shelly makes her
Falios.
appearance. She'll pop up
There's
now,
only
and
2
Damwon
real
has
targets.
some control of the area, and Khan has the push top lane.
Bottom side, you see early push here from EDG2, and the recall starting from Ghost. So you're getting the early shove down on bottom to be able to have the priority to rotate up there for it. Again, Jin as well with the extra range can get a pretty quick jump on it. Looks like the first
That's a
attempt
4-man play.
is going to be
mid.
setting up here towards mid, trying to catch.
The Spidey
Who's-
sense.
Yeah,
Obviously,
exactly.
Harold is up.
Who's going to be one to
So it makes sense
overextend,
for him to be
and nothing
here.
extended here.
Now, I think what was really crucial there was just the awareness from Scout. A part of it is his pro player experience, but also he's looking at the map and he realizes, hang on, JJ was bot lane. That means that Canyon could have moved into our whole topside jungle and warded that whole part of the map, and Khan is missing. So with all these factors, there is a real good chance that they're threatening to dive, and so he respects it. So
Harold,
really good play
can
there
we
from
start
Scout.
up
And the
here?
setup here for Damwon is quite good, with vision control of the river heading
More
over to it, but as
likely,
well having
EDG know
the
about it.
Braum ultimate and Gragas kind of play bodyguards for both
So,
these jungle porters.
yeah.
EDG making the
What
decision
are they
not
gonna
to
get
fight
on
it
the
at
other
all.
side
And
of
you can
the
see
map?
with Jin on bottom side, not only are they going to push out the bottom lane minion wave, but they also
Other than a
bring
minion core.
support and jungle down to control bottom side river instead.
And this might be that classic play that we saw. Rotate your Aphelios up top and then very quickly drop down the Rift Herald to try and even out this bottom lane trade that we're seeing on our screen right here. Viper, if he gets 2 plates, theoretically that's a worth trade for the Rift Herald, but if Damwon Kia can use it for even more, that's going to be the important thing.
I like this because the thing about trading bottom side push for Rift Herald is that you have to call off the trade once the Rift Herald is taken, because it will push faster, way faster than you, and they actually rotate
there's
over to try and
Destiny
deny
hijack.
the full tower, just trying to
He's
stop it
going
here at the
to
charge.
drop top.
Yep. Red, white don't fight
Blitz,
here for Ghost.
pretty
He does have some
easy.
pretty good guns. There's the long range variety as well, as
Full
Chakrams can rain down from a very
one.
long distance away. Want to be able to get this next plate though, as the Aphelios does want that plate gold. Showmaker able to shove this wave in once again, and he's taking control back here in this mid lane just a little bit. Damwon Kia wanting to get more done, but Mako and Flandre answering here. The makeshift 80 carry in the Jace.
But our observers did a great job of highlighting Viper's ahead of Ghost in this play, because while all of that gold was being shared in the top side for Damwon, it was Viper that was a solo benefactor to receive 3 tower plates for himself, and typically for a Jin, the siege is quite slow because you do only have those 4 shots, you do have to reload, but Damwon actually waited an extra wave before sieging, and I think in particular they were waiting for Showmaker to be able to steal away Scout's ultimate so that in the event he tried to roam up top, he could also follow him so that there weren't a numbers disadvantage.
Well,
Speaking
Viper
of,
going to start this one up, and Khan has nowhere to go. It's a decent body slam to buy a couple of seconds time, but that's all he gets. First blood goes to the Twisted Fate, and we talk about this. First Destiny, did it work? I'd say yeah.
Interesting too, Viper holding his shot there and giving the money over purposely to Scout here on the Twisted Fate. Gets 2 stacks in the Dark Seal as well. So a little bit of extra value squeezed out.
and he'll get the Everfrost off the back of that, and look at that, 2 completed items immediately. Viper thanks to all those early turret plates, and Scout thanks to that first blood that he's going to get for himself. So EDG find themselves with a good early game gold lead, and gentlemen, I have to refer back to this graphic from earlier. When we kind of look at these early game statistics, we saw it in the last game as well. When EDG get early game gold leads, that is when they look the most dominant and they look the most controlling. So definitely an excellent start for EDG in game 3.
3 minutes until that 15-minute point where we can really be sure of how things are going to go. First Drake going to be taken for the first time here by Damwon Kia. And once again, no Cloud Soul. God, that's what I have to do. Get Cloud Soul this year.
Nothing but disappointment for you.
Yeah, absolutely. As another plate being looked for here by Damwon on the bottom side, but they're going to have it denied for the next little moment. JJ looking for something here. Canyon waiting in the wings, but not going to find too much more. He's chain CC to come through, but Scout doesn't have his jungler quite prepared for it. As Mako going to get stunned up for the moment. Solar Flare actually going to come out defensively to allow the EDG support to make his way out. Damwon do get control of that brush, but are unable to clear out all of the vision from EDG. Now Scout underneath this turret, able to push Showmaker in.
And there's going to be a small discrepancy in Silas Ultimate coming up a bit before Twisted Fate Ultimate, but Showmaker's going to recall now, so maybe... Oh, he cancels his base, actually. He wants to steal that ultimate, but it's just going to be catching the wave, and he'll have the teleport to get right back. Bottom side is going to be left alone as Flandre is going to get flashed on.
Yeah, it's a big early flash from Flandre. I like the idea, but it ain't going to work. All of the teleports to come forward as now Khan is walking the wrong way, but maybe it's the correct one as they pick up the kill on the Twisted Fate. They knew the man advantage was coming in, and he puts himself in the right position to capitalize.
Yep, steals that ultimate, and look at the other side of the map too for Damwon, pushing into the tower, getting their advantages as well.
And just really great play from Khan and Canyon. Flandre flashes just a little too early. The threat was too much for him, and he panics under the pressure. That's the perfect opportunity for Damwon to get that initial kill, and they immediately create a numbers advantage. And then, oh my word, Showmaker stealing away Jeje's ultimate. Watch what he does to be able to set up the play. But this is where it starts. Flandre commits the Q. Flandre's like, I've got to get out. I know I'm dead. So he's just trying to buy a little bit of time, but Khan sets that up very cleanly. He's able to get that initial pick. And then here, watch this steal from Showmaker. Steals away Jeje's ultimate, gets him behind, and then knocks him away. Oh, actually, it's the kick from Canyon that actually does more of the work. So I gave a little too much credit there to Showmaker. But again, the three-man Damwon topside end up coming out on top.
Yeah, those teleports coming in, though, definitely going in their favor, and bottom lane up to shield bow now for Ghost farming away. So Damwon feeling pretty good, even with the gold deficit they are facing, having the dragon in their pocket and having a lot of good scaling to rely on.
And I will say for EDG, we haven't seen a huge amount of investment into the top side, but another little skirmish kicks off.
Yeah, Beryl actually forced to flash out here as JJ does get him over the wall. Very nicely done. They'll get a Rift Scuttler as well for added benefit and clear out all of this vision. 2 minutes until the Drake, so not a lot to fight for down here necessarily. And Ghost is happily farming underneath his turret with a lot of his teammates waiting to back him up.
And I think that as the game continues to progress, one of the things that we're going to be keeping our eyes on is the scaling advantage. Because I think that when it comes to straight up 5v5, Damwon have the stronger comp. Their engage isn't the most reliable. They are kind of relying on Showmaker to steal away some ultimates. But with the Aphelios, with the Gragas and the utility that can offer, sure, Jace will offer more damage in a side lane, and EDG's ability to attack sides is of course very prevalent, but when it comes to the straight front-to-back 5v5, Damwon is in a very good position with what they've drafted for themselves.
Exactly. We've seen so many teams at Worlds utilizing this strategy exactly from EDG, using the tools they have to spread the map and put pressure on them, on both of those sides, opening it up, using the Twisted Fate to roam, and they... In the past, the Silas hasn't been able to keep up, but Showmaker has been ahead of it here. In the earlier teleport, double on top side, being able to pick this one up. Now hovering and running straight top as well to back this one up. They definitely have it under control.
Yep. Second Rift Herald has been a point of contention all series so far. Let's see who's actually going to win the positional war. Right now you can see EDG with a whole host of members there. There
it is.
Yep, there it is. Scout moving towards that top side and Khan nowhere to go. Some Alcove Gaming isn't going to work out in his favor, and 3 versus 1's a bit unfair if you ask me. Well done for EDG creating the play.
Damwon did everything right, but then they left a small window with which Scout was immediately able to capitalize on. Gets that kill onto Khan, 20 seconds is a death timer. He has teleport as EDG start off the Herald.
Canyon not going to be able to find the Sonic Wave just there, and Shirley has began. Still 10 seconds on that clock, and you can see EDG trying to rush this one down. Gold card connects onto Beryl, but he is, of course, quite tanky. Ghost now trying to get himself into position. Not exactly optimal weaponry, but he'll take it. As now the teleport to come forward from the Gragas. The fight has begun as Beryl looked to get the ultimate off. He did manage to get there as Mako locks down the kill. And Khan with full health, not able to get anything done. And the Eye of the Herald still awaiting in the pit. Will be picked up there by Flandre.
This is such a big win for EDG because, yes, they're able to focus fire and get the kill, but also getting that Eye of the Rift Herald onto the Jace further accentuates their split pushing needs with this composition. Even though they give up the dragon, they're happy to blow open the side of the map now. This is where you want to play with Twisted Fate. Flandre will be able to get topside tower, still has the Rift Herald in pocket, and gives them a lot of pushing power.
Yeah, that's also first brick as well, going over to the chase, able to lock that one down himself. So I'm glad you accentuated that point, because Flandre being strong is going to be very important for EDG.
Certainly is. We do see the Braum hovering around. Flandre needs to be careful not to overextend because the resets are going to come through soon. And this could be danger for Flandre.
Yeah, Winter's Bite comes down, and this is going to be the chain CC. Khan's able to lock down that kill with a bop from the barrel, and it's going to be absolutely fine for Damwon Kia. So Flandre punished just a little bit there.
Small timings for both of these top laners. In the previous one, there were hovers behind Khan just before. As soon as their hovers leave, then the play comes out. He's up too far in the lane, and Twisted Fate ultimate comes through. Then this time around as well, the hovers are there, but as soon as the recall completes, Barrel comes through, lands the Q, and they pick off the opposing top laner. The difference is there's no objective afterwards.
You know, what I've learned from watching this series is that even if you are a professional player, some champions just don't let you play the game. Last game, it was Malzahar and Qiyana. This game, Gragas and Braum. The perma-CC combo that prevents you from ever getting to do anything. But it will result in a big pick for Damwon. EDG, though, maintaining control over the gold lead. And it's pretty interesting how things have pivoted. You know, we've seen a lot of like back and forth trades throughout this series, but now it is Damwon, for the first time in this series, that have firm control over the Drakes. They will invest in them very early, and we'll see if they can actually threaten the soul and force EDG into these fights when EDG really wants to try and attack sides and look for picks.
Ooh, rooted onto Ghost. Viper actually getting in there with the Gale Force, but unable to actually lock him down. But they do get the shield bow, which could be very important. Shirley comes down, looking to take down this outer turret in the mid lane as Showmaker now here to defend as well. They're not going to be able to stop the charge as Showmaker down to 50%, not able to get any value out of the Everfrost either, and EDG taking some power back.
Turret
Yeah, they
takes
get a
lot
lot of damage on mid, but they're also split pushing on bottom
Could
side
be
too with the
quite
Twisted Fate.
big
They're going to continue to try and
amount
spread
of gold
the
to
map
be invested
here.
into
Now,
EDG.
after top side has already
Drake's
fallen, the
favored
domino
Damwon.
effect starts to chain through the map here.
I have
Bottom
definitely not been
side,
asleep during
only
this
a
game.
couple more hits there. He's actually hovering a little bit back because the
Poke
mid
is
lane
not
pressure
too
has to
much
relent
out of EDG.
slightly,
They do have the
so
kill
doesn't
lead
wanna
right now.
overextend
Turret's gonna
and
fall.
get picked off. Leaves just the remnants of the tower
God's
here.
gonna slightly
But
claw back.
with it going
I
down
say
there,
claw back,
not
they're
being able to
ahead
get
10K.
local gold, just going to be the global.
Yep, Damwon Kia now back to defending this outer turret. It should go down very,
He's
very
coming in,
comfortably,
Sim
especially
Vision.
with the teleport to come through from Scout. You know exactly what EDG want here. It looks like
That
they should be able to
poke
take it.
landing.
Four
That's a
members
gold card
now
landing.
grouping
That's
up here in the
lockup
mid lane.
coming
The
down. That
CC is
turret
good as the
should
Moonlight
fall.
Vigil does not find any targets. Showmaker off to the side now, has a Solar Flare available.
It's available.
Damwon Kia do get them away from their turret for now.
It's on a slither of
5v5.
HP, though. One more hit should secure it for EDG, and Scout goes back to base, secures himself the
Drake
rapid fire
is
cannon.
not up
This
yet.
pick potential from EDG is
If
now
EDG get killed
accelerated.
here, that should be
Lands
banned.
an initial stun, and this is what you're going to be seeing a lot of.
Poke
Stun
lands
into
onto
poke,
Gragas.
stun into poke. Viper can also follow up with the W as well, and Damwon is just going to get chipped away at. And this is one of the weaknesses of their composition. Showmaker with the ultimate, Khan with his engage. Those are the primary engage tools, and if they can't
More
land
poke
them, then
lands.
EDG is going to keep chipping
Barrel
away
gets
at those
chunked.
health bars.
And EDG have such a high priority on
Gold
getting
card
these
prep.
outer
Barrel
towers
is
down.
locked. The
Stun you.
Soul Flare
There's the
goes
Solar Flare
wide.
as well as
The
Scout is
Everfrost
going to get
lands.
rooted, but
So you're
he's gonna
trading
be able to
health
walk
bars
his way out. A little
between
bit worse for wear, but
Scout
otherwise
and
absolutely
Barrel.
fine.
Scout obviously
Damwon
TP
Kia
back
will
into
just
the
clear out
fight.
the wave,
So
claiming some
he
control
cannot
over
get
the
back here
Now, the
quickly.
advantage for Damwon in all of this was that
He does
they
have
were
Destiny.
successfully able to push out top and bot. That
But
top
the
wave
big
did
thing
actually
is,
go underneath the tower, so
Scout
now
is
it's
gonna get
bouncing
blue
back
buff right
in
here
favor
from
of Damwon, and the same thing is happening in the bot side of the map. So
And he's actually
Damwon,
gonna go
while they
get
were able to
from the
hold on to
top
their
wave
mid-tier
as
one,
well.
which is sure to fall.
So
a
he
lot of
transitioned
farm
between
ended up
lanes
being
quite
lost
easily,
on the side lanes.
and he's
EDG
gonna get
could
for
have
himself
grabbed,
some
but
more
instead they
gold.
committed hard to trying to take down that mid-tier one.
And Flandre here towards the
Now
bottom
that
side, doing some
mid-tier one
tidying up
should
from the
take
mess that you
two
were
orders
talking
and
about
die.
there,
That's all that
and
needs to
even
be
without
said.
that turret being
And as
taken, it is
such,
still a considerable lead.
expected to
here for
fall in
EDG.
the next 10
Of course,
seconds
Twisted
as
Fate
Barrel
does help out with
and
that one as Barrel
Mako just
gonna
gonna
say hi to Mako. Doesn't
support all
quite
combat.
find the Q as a teleport to come forward from Khan, just to get himself back onto the map. And all eyes are now on the Soul point. This Infernal Soul going to be very important for Damwon Kia to
30
still threaten
seconds
some
until
tempo in
Drake.
this game.
Exactly. Since
Baron
they,
is
they
up.
haven't been able to
There could be a
get the last
trade
bits
of
of that tower
objectives
down.
here.
They haven't been able to put as much pressure on the other side of the map.
But
EDG are kind of now forced into the spot that Damwon are
Destiny
looking for.
is up and
where
available.
They've got a control ward through River. They have
You
so many
could
good
see him just
counter
use it.
engage
All the
options
poke
available
lands.
to them, and EDG
That is
are just trying to run through
Ghost
and take it
chipped
over.
out low.
Showmaker
That is going
once
to be
again,
Zin's ult
that Crescent
stolen.
Guard. There is so much
As
displacement
Poke
available
and
for
Prod just
Damwon
lands
Kia.
off
The
the Damwon
kickback
Kia bot
distance
lane.
that Canyon can have available
Drake
with the
is
follow-up from
up
both the mid laner and the
now.
top laner is just immense, but EDG still a force to be
EDG
reckoned
are
with.
looking to fight.
Scout over to
Scout
the
is
side,
off the
finds
side.
stun
Gold
onto
card's gonna
Canyon, but
land.
Canyon doesn't worry about it too
Wild
much.
cards
and
come through.
The setup for this poke, I mean, there's only
And
so
the Drake
many
is
unbreakable
started up.
cooldowns that you
The
have
mini
available
wave is going
to
to kill the
yourself.
mid lane tier 1.
As the
Pressure
turret
is in
does
favor of
finally go
EDG.
down in that mid lane.
Shock Blast is going to go
Damwon
wide.
Kia
Gold
want
card
to
is
secure
cracked.
this Drake. Can JJ do it
That
again?
is
Can
the
he
Deadly
lock down
Flourish
the smite?
landing.
Is the question.
That is the
Showmaker
poke
waiting off
landing.
to the side,
As
chooses
here
his
comes
moment now,
Showmaker. He
flashes
goes
on
in, he
forward on
locks down
Viper,
target.
Viper
But
not actually out of
Viper
position
is
just yet,
not
sets up the
in
curtain
danger.
call to
The
look
curtains
to lock
open up.
down
The shots are
Damwon
landing.
Kia.
The Baron,
They
the
will
Drake
be able
goes
to
over
get
to
this
Damwon
point.
Kia.
Take down the
They
jungler
managed to
as well.
kill off
Scout going
Wade
golden. Showmaker dashing
JJ,
forward.
but
Uses his
Showmaker
stopwatch as
uses a
well,
little
but there is
dancing,
no
dancing,
follow-up. Four members
and
of
he
Damwon
is
Kia now
dead. The
desperately
shutdown
trying
goes
to
over,
run
and the
away
shock
just
blast
out of
does not
range
land.
of the shock blast.
Woo,
And
that was
Damwon
close.
successfully
Damwon
complete the
get
heist.
away with
God,
murder
that jolly fellow moves
and get
quick.
themselves soul point.
Barely got away from the shock blast, and they got what they came for, Atlas. They got the dragon.
Now-
Drake secured there for Damwon. It was quite close.
This
and
is
Showmaker
close.
goes in with this attempt at the knockback play, stealing away the Zen.
Showmaker
ultimate. Doesn't quite get the
kinda went a
knockback
bit
he
too
wants, but
greedy
still,
there,
He's
if we
afforded
watch
the
this
extra
again.
safety of the defenses
So,
of it, and it buys them
watch, he
time
goes
to
over
secure
with the
before getting
Blasco.
out.
You could feel the
Goes
tension
in.
in this fight as Showmaker
Knocks
is the one that initiates the play. JJ gets
Viper
so low, is able to
away.
flash out to safety,
And
and then this
he doesn't
ultimate from
get
Khan
too
creates a
much.
lot of disruption
a
that makes it
lot
very
of
difficult for
disruption
Flandre
in
to
this
really
fight.
get involved.
And
The
Showmaker
stopwatch comes through from Showmaker. He realizes the position
a
that he's
little bit
put
of
himself in,
prancing,
and then
and he
Viper sees his
manages
opportunity
to
to try and clean up, but Khan
die.
just barely
That's
able
all
to get
I
away
need to say.
from the shock blast. Ends
I
up only
agree,
being
Khan.
a 1-for-1.
That was a backside graze, if ever I've seen one. He felt the heat of that shock blast when he was over that wall.
So,
That was definitely a
the big thing
brown
here,
white
though,
vibe I've
is
ever seen one.
EDG still
But
have map
that does
pressure.
mean that Damwon
Get the
now
push.
securing themselves 3
Top
drakes.
lane
They
pushed
will
in.
be at
Bot
Soul
lane
Point, and
was
we will have
pushing,
another
but
tense
it's
fight.
going to
Look
be
at this,
cleared out here by
EDG,
Showmaker.
4K up in
Mid
gold.
lane,
Towers
obviously,
is where they're getting a
is
lot of their
where
gold lead, and of course the
EDG
Twisted Fate
have a
passive
lot of
assisting
pressure
as
as
well.
well.
But they have so much more control over the map. It makes it
Damwon.
much easier for them to control the river.
They need to
and
clear
move
out
into Damwon's jungle.
decision.
And one of the big
So
reasons
look at
why
this
Twisted
top
Fate
half
is so
map.
highly
It's
prized
so
is that
EDG
it
favored.
allows you the extra vision coverage to be able to get the most out of some of these periods
Showmaker,
in the
though,
game
gonna
where
get himself to
Damwon
tier
don't
1.
have another dragon coming up for 3 minutes over here. So they're trying to play a
And I've
bit of
definitely
catch as
not
far as
slept on
catching a lot of
this
these push
game.
on the minion waves and giving up some of that side lane pressure, respecting that Twisted Fate and the pick potential that EDG have to show. But EDG need to push
can you
this
tell I'm
forward
tired?
until the next
If
dragon comes up, because again,
I've
that
been laid asleep
Infernal Soul
during
is
this
what
game.
Damwon have going for them. That's their big comeback potential here.
And that's sort of the ace in the hole as well,
Thank
because
goodness
Damwon
that's
have
probably
the
not gonna
composition
wear
that
in this
wants to
video.
team fight, right? And if EDG are playing the optimal game for themselves, it's split push. It's being able to play the side lanes and forcing Damwon out of their 5-man unit. But come that Infernal Drake fight, they're going to have to all be there. They're going to have to agree to Damwon
So
Kia's
Baron
terms
is
unless
still available.
They can change
Expect
the game
Mako to go
beforehand.
clear out
The
that
player
control
that
ward in
I'm
the
keeping
Baron
my
pit.
eyes on is Flandre, because as
Never
the game
mind.
progresses, this Jace is only going to continue to
should
scale
do,
up. He's now just finished
but
his
he
3rd
isn't.
item. His poke is lethal.
Once you clear
and when
that
you're having
out,
that
it
dance
should
around the
be
dragon, landing
a bit
that
more
shock
of a
blade
dance around
will
the
be
Baron pit.
massive.
They're now
And you
gonna
think
look
about
to
Ghost,
probably clear
yes,
it out.
Aphelios scales very well into the late game, but when it comes
And
to
there we
range,
go, he's going
Twisted Fate with
forward.
the rapid fire cannon, the poke from a Jace, the
Sees
W
it.
from Viper and his ultimate. How
1,
easy is
2,
Ghost actually going to
3.
have access to these team
As
fights
Zin's
if
caught
EDG
out,
don't ever fully
Cass
commit, as we
lands.
see a fight kicking off?
Yeah,
As
Crescent
the
Guard
presence
comes
guard
through, try and keep
comes
JJ
through,
alive, and it's going to
keeping him
work. Now it puts
TP
it on
coming
cooldown
out
and he loses
from
half
Scout.
himself, but still the trade of ultimates works out in favor of EDG. Scout teleports back in with a Zhonya's freshly constructed. He's got all of the utility versatility that he wants right now.
EDG again, they got to return to the split pushing.
And yet again,
immediately
it's
sending
split
Flandre
pushing
right
coming
up
out from
to top
EDG.
side. He still has his teleport, and they can actually use the Twisted Fate ultimate to really complement that split pushing, even though Damwon have done a good job of retaining control
Soul
of their
is
vision
up
and their
in a
red
minute.
quadrant here. This is one of the biggest
That's
things where
what
they're
we're
set
waiting
up
for
around
now.
that Baron. If EDG try and threaten there, they try and threaten the turns and the picks with Twisted Fate and draw you out. The important thing is that the safety of those extra
What
wards
can
are allowing Damwon that
EDG
more
do in
slow
this
and cautious
situation?
lead up to it.
They've got to
Control the
continue
mid
to
lane.
secure
They
the
are
vision
able
and
to
split
move
push.
towards this dragon pit. Still a
That's
minute on it,
essentially
but
it,
Damwon
because
Kia do
once
need to
you
try and
secure
get
the vision
out onto the rift.
to the jungle, it makes
And
it
EDG
harder
have done
for
a
Damwon to
fantastic
contest
job forcing them
objectives.
back, making sure that they have
And
no
look at
access
that,
to
they've
the area.
gotten
And as you
a
can see with the
lot
vision,
put down.
not a
There's
lot of
very
opportunity.
little
Thankfully, there
vision
is a Rift
for
Scuttler that is providing
Damwon.
irremovable
The only thing
vision
that
for
they've
the
got
moment.
is the scuttle grab.
That is all they have to lean on right now.
But
Is Damwon
because
some
that's
backs,
providing
now they try
enough
and reassert
information, they
themselves.
know that
Also,
EDG
just look at these waves.
aren't
Bot wave is
lurking.
being pushed in. Top wave is kind of stuck
It
in a
is
bit of an
infernal,
awkward spot
so
now for
obviously
Damwon as
it
well.
is an
and EDG just
open
keeping
wide
control
pit.
over mid. So that
That
issue that we talked
is
about
gonna
earlier,
play
not a
very,
big one for
very
EDG right now.
favourable
They can just
to
keep
Damwon.
poking, keep threatening
know
as
that
EDG
they're not near
maintain
the
control
actual Drake.
on the entrances
Now
to the
that
river
as we
Damwon
pivot
want to try and
over
secure themselves
towards
the
the
Dragon's
pit,
Soul.
Damwon
Damwon
don't
are getting a
necessarily
bit
have
more.
to fight though.
They
right?
don't.
Because they're
They're
the team
getting a
that
bit
has the
more
soul point.
brave.
That
They're
is the
stepping
luxury
forward.
afforded them as
Mako
Mako taking a
takes
fair
the
bit of
chunk.
damage there as Ghost has some pretty good guns for this potential battle.
That's the Leech
EDG now
landing
grouped up
onto
as 5, and this is
Jace.
exactly how
Not gonna go
Damwon
in.
want them. They've got so
More
much
poke being put
displacement,
down
so
onto
much
Barrel.
control. Showmaker once again
As
with the
the
Crescent Guard.
green and white guns are
Can they
in
actually
Ghost's
find
back
the
pocket.
engage
Not
that
the
they're
most
looking
favourable
for? Hugo's
for a
wide
team
there from
fight.
Canyon.
He is
Vision
going to
still
obviously
just being fought for here. Into
possibly
the darkness
lose the
goes
green
Canyon
gun
off the
here
side, lands the Q
as
this
he
time.
is
And
poking and
EDG
prodding.
moving back
Showmaker
in,
has
not
been
wanting
spotted
to
on the
commit, is now
flank.
Showmaker off on the flank. I
And
believe was just spotted.
he
And definitely
could
is now with the chain
quite
lash
easily be
being
jumped on.
looked at. And
He's coming in
Damwon
from
Kia
side. He
looking
has
for
the
some
Zinno.
stuns. They haven't fully
As
committed
that is
yet.
just
Canyon
Canyon
dives
getting
over, but he's immediately
clocked.
popped. Can't make the
Khan-
big play. Khan into the
He's
backside,
going to
though.
get a kill
He'll
onto
be able to
Can
do it.
Scout.
Lockdown Scout,
Aphelios
bring
picks up a
anything
kill,
it goes.
and
Grabs the
this
kill on
is
JJ. This is the
EDG
team
being
fight
wiped off
that
the
Damwon
floor.
Kia have
This
been
is almost
looking for
certainly
all
Soul
game long.
as Jace
Flandre
is shut
goes down as
down
well,
and Mako is
he's
forced to
running
flash.
for the hills,
He's
but he's not
running,
gonna be able to
and
stop
that
this
is
infernal
Infernal
Soul
Soul
going down.
over
That's
to
gonna be so big. Not only
Damwon.
do they stop the soul, but they can also just run straight up to Baron. They have so much damage. EDG have not
And
been able
this
to
game
split
was
push strong enough. They
favourable
have not
to
been able to
EDG.
spread out
They
Damwon.
kept Damwon
They
away
have
from the
been
pit,
able to
but
secure
they
it.
could
Soul
not stop them from the
for
fight. Let's watch
Damwon.
Canyon
The
here.
team fight power
He
of the
spotted
flanks
out.
coming through.
And
Comes
look at how
out.
Damwon just kind of
Oh,
hurt EDG like sheep. And
Flandre.
keep your eyes on
He
Showmaker
uses
here.
his
Yes,
crash
Canyon
down with
loses
his
his life
Q
at the start,
over the wall,
but Showmaker gets access on
not
the back
landing
line.
it onto
Initial engage
Canyon,
comes out from
meaning
Khan.
that
The follow-up from
he
Showmaker.
doesn't
The team
stop
fight
the
becomes
backline
split as
access,
Ghost has
and
unlimited
it
protection
doesn't
from
that
Beryl
he
to set
gets
up for the perfect
bodied,
collapse.
and the
EDG
rest
fall,
of EDG
Damwon
just
secure
fall.
Soul, and Damwon looking to go series point.
And when I saw Canyon go down there, I thought that this was going to be an EDG fight. They were going to be able to stop that playmaking, but I get reminded of my friend Jake Spawn Tiberi
Interestingly
telling me
enough,
about something. I think it was back
Baron
in 2015.
did not
he was talking about
go
Gragas. I'm like,
down.
why don't you pick Lee Sin in the jungle anymore? He's like, no,
And
Gragas is
that
just better
is
Lee Sin.
huge.
And we saw
It means
Khan go into
that
that backline and demonstrate
realistically,
that you can do all of that CC, but you
can
get to do it on
see
everyone.
It's great follow-up there because
a
Canyon
Baron
getting
fight,
focus fire
and I
burned
like
down
Baron
early,
fights. They're usually very
with that
explosive.
stun was an opening, but the follow-up that you're talking about so big from Khan and Showmaker right into the back line, burning them up.
It was just the way in which
If you're
EDG were being herded.
EDG right
you
now,
know,
Yeah.
initially they lost control over mid, then they lost control
A
over the
lot
river,
of
and slowly they were
damage
being pincered in.
come
This
down.
is one of
EDG have
Damwon's
damage.
many great strengths. Their
Damwon
ability
have
to team
the
fight,
map
their
pressure
ability
right now.
to navigate these situations
And
is what has
realistically-
made them a world champion before, and is what could very well make them world champion again.
Yeah, they were able to buy
It's
their
very
time
hard for EDG,
through
in
all of
my
the
opinion, to
early
get back
pressure,
into this
playing
game.
That cautious
I
game.
don't know what I'm saying
giving the
anymore. I'm
respect to
very
the Twisted
tired.
Fate plays and all the attempted picks coming out from
But
EDG.
Damwon
a
looking
very
to
similar
use the
position
fog
that
to get a
EDG,
pick. They've got to Zinno
found
yet again
themselves
onto
in, but they were
Silas.
in Damwon's shoes against Gen G. They They were
Lights
down
that
a
up.
similar amount.
The Crescent
Oh,
Guard
sorry, they were
does a
up a
lot of
similar amount,
protecting.
but it's the
and
Dragon Soul
engage
that is
heavy
creating so much power here for Damwon Kia. And of course,
usage.
EDG were able to close out that game. Game number
They know
one,
where Barrel
defensive five
is.
in the semis as
Mako gets
taking a lot
chunked
of
quite
damage.
low.
Damwon Kia unable to commit to this one just yet.
Gold card,
Yeah,
Everfrost
comes
invested
forward as well.
by
They're trying to soak as
Scout.
many cooldowns, but Damwon Kia
Down one's still very healthy.
playing it safe.
as a shot
And
blast.
that's
mid lane.
Does a nice
dangerous, as you
chunk.
can see these shot blasts are really hurting.
The poke is one of the tools that EDG really do need to leverage now. They're trying to soften them up
They're
a bit.
getting the
before
minions pushed
the
up to
all-in
tier
comes,
2.
and pushing up mid lane. They will be able to get
There is a
just
TP
the
flank
recall out.
available for
That hurt
Showmaker.
me. Go's taking
They
most of
could
his
go
health bar
for a
there.
fight here, Damwon. I would
Now
honestly
Damwon just
look
looking
for
to try
it.
and defend this inner turret. They will do so.
Get
but, Control
behind
getting a lot of value.
EDG's Destiny.
Able to throw some extra
Gonna be
poke over,
used.
And now it's EDG. With
And
control
Baron
over this Baron. It really
is
has
looking
been a
quite
dance
tasty.
all game.
What
You can still
vision
feel the
does
tension,
Damwon have in the pit?
Even though Damwon
Seems
feel like
very
the favorites to
little.
win this game, the gold is still very even. The items are very similar.
In fact,
you can see a bit of a discrepancy now as
there
Ghost has gone back to
is
base
no,
and secured
there is
himself
one
the
control ward in
Bloodthirster.
that vision.
Yet to see any
Never
healing
mind, it
reduction
was
come
a
out from
normal
the
one
side
and
of
it's faded.
EDG, but we talked about
I'm
the
just
scaling
blind.
on Aphelios, and you saw the damage that
And
he was able to
so,
output in that last fight. Yeah,
Damwon
range
have
may
no
be a
vision in
problem,
the
but if
pit,
he gets into range, the
and
damage is very real.
Yeah, it
We
feels
could
like he's just
quite
playing
easily
Graves.
see
It's
EDG
Aphelios cosplaying
just
Graves
turn and
right
burn the
now,
Baron.
as he's got basically the same item
Sadly
build.
for them, Beryl is
Look
going
forward
off to
seeing
clear
how Ghost
division.
is going to be able to play these team fights right now with the Crescendum and Calibrum available as they move into this river. Try and secure this Baron. So much vision available here.
And they're
for EDG,
starting
though.
it
This is
up.
not going to be a
They're gonna
secret.
force
Damwon knows
EDG
it
into the
as
pit.
They start off the Baron
Beryl
right now. The Flutter
is looking
so
to
far
point
away
guard.
from this. Teleport is
Flank
available if he
is
wants
available
to use
for
it as now the
Showmaker and
chain
Khan, and
CC
they have
goes
found
down
it.
on Beryl, but
Then
he keeps himself
ultimate
alive
is
for
going
so
to be
long.
used.
We've traded
Straight of
the
ults as the
knockbacks
Everfrost is going to
everywhere.
lock
There is
down
so
Mako. He's
much
taking down
crescent
very low.
guarding going on,
Soul
but no
Flare
real fight
stuns
has broken out.
Damwon,
Here this time,
and
press all
EDG
their
managed to
buttons,
get
but
away
don't
with
get
their
that
lives.
pick.
However,
They were afforded last time.
Damwon
Baron
get what they want,
is
which is a
still
health advantage.
up
JJ's forced to flash.
and
He is
available.
out of the pit. Mako has to go back
has
to base
to
because he doesn't have
contest.
the HP, and Damwon can immediately go back to
Shot
the
Blast
Baron,
is gonna
and
go
it
wide.
melts thanks to the damage
Curtain
from
call
Ghost.
Well, the curtain
opens
call
up.
comes in. Can Viper do
But
enough damage
Beryl
to
can
deter
just stand
Damwon
and
here
block.
from this Baron and
Showmaker
Showmaker? There is a
looking to
blast
go
code
in
still
onto
available. Looks for the chain, but doesn't quite get there as
JJ.
Canyon.
But the
gets
kick
but
is
immediately
perfect.
goes
Flandre
in
just gets
to
absolutely
the
bursted
stopwatch.
out.
Beautifully done, and they're going to be
JJ
the picks. The
falls,
topside goes down
and
first,
down
and it's a
goes
bloodbath.
Scout
Oh,
as
man,
the
he couldn't
rest
do it
of
last time, but that
EDG
time
are
Canyon,
falling across the map as
beautiful.
Viper
Return
is
here
on
from
his own.
Damwon as they
Showmaker
chase down
shows up
Viper as well,
and takes
that will
out
be
the EDG
the
bot
Baron
lane
this time
as
around for
Baron
Damwon. They get the
is a
full
reward for
reward
Damwon.
for their turnaround.
This
Canyon,
is
yeah, last time
certainly
around, gold card right
going to
in the
be
face. This time
match
gets the
point
kickoff
for
with the
Damwon
flash into
Kia
the stopwatch.
after an impressive
This is gonna
game
be the
3.
big push. That team fight,
They're
Vedius has
able
been able to bide
to
its time, and with the extra
absolutely
damage from the soul as well.
dismantle
It's just
EDG for the second game in a
Patience
row.
is the best way to describe
And
Damwon, because you
Damwon
never see them overforce. You don't see
playing
them pull the
perfectly
trigger
here.
like that. I mean, they do, but at just the right moment. It's the point that I'm trying to get at, right? They just wait for the perfect moment, and you just kind of, as much as you try, you just can't prepare for it. And Canyon was the one that set up that play, but everything before it, just such great execution. You can really see why
So
Damwon
watch
is
again,
considered
Curtain Call
a favorite to win the
opens
whole
up.
thing.
Yeah, they just have
Barrel's
such great
just tanking
composure
it.
on this big
Showmaker is
stage,
off
you
to
know,
the
in
side,
finals.
looking to
Comes
keep
with the
JJ out
confidence
of
of
pit.
being
But that
previous world
kick
champions,
into
but
stopwatch
Canyon,
is
that was
perfect.
beautiful.
That alley-oop.
Right
As it
in
just
Khan.
gives
to the Gragas body
Aphelios
slam,
an easy
never
kill
let
with the
body
body slam
touch the
coming out
floor.
from Khan. Destiny comes through
Beautiful.
from
That song that the
Silas,
bodies hit the floor, not apparent in this
and
game.
down
Just
goes
perfect
I
one
mean,
shot.
the bodies hit the floor. They just didn't have a health bar when they did so. There was a lot of them, though.
and
And
they
you can see the
know that was
frustration on that
pretty bad.
EDG coaching staff, of course.
There's a lovely
Even if
play
they fall
comes
short,
out
hey,
from
still
Kenny
more
there.
opportunities to come, and EDG have done a great job going toe-to-toe. Let's see if they can make the miracle happen and turn this game around.
Gold
It is
cards
looking
being
like a
thrown
tough
out
one,
as the Moonlight
Damwon
Vigil is
now
gonna
looking
go
to siege
wide.
onto the base of EDG.
Yep, 35 minutes on the clock, so the gold
Elder
not necessarily a relevant point, but
is
this Baron
on the
so
board.
important, and the fact that Damwon
Both
Kia have
teams know
hit
this.
their
They
stride
need
with
to
their
go
composition
fight for it.
is just so important.
Execute.
Khan, off to the side, he
It's
can
so
play bodyguard so
important
beautifully
in
on
terms
this
of
Gragas
fights.
as well.
Khan
As you can see, just up
looking
to
to
the front
zone
line,
away
feeling very
EDG,
good.
but
The
Engage is
Elder
going to
Drake has
come in
spawned. Now
from
the team fight gonna
Showmaker.
break
He's
out
coming in
yet
from the
again as
side.
Beryl
His
going down
brawl
very, very
moment
low,
comes
but
through,
Viper was
knocking
the
him
target,
down as
and
Viper
Viper
gets
will be
taken out.
taken down.
Zin
Beryl
gets
so-
taken
is
out.
still alive.
Beryl
What
and
is going
Showmaker
on?
somehow
It's
still
Andre
alive
Scout,
as the
last
Destiny's
man
going to come through from
standing,
side, and they're
and
going
look
to
at
lock
this. They're
down
stealing it, thankfully.
Faker. Never mind, he got back to base and instead is Beryl falling. It is a 4-4-1 as Damwon is just going to march up the mid lane, mashing through the base of EDG.
Yep, they decide that they don't even need the Elder Drake
this
because,
is
of course, the
gonna be
Nexus is
game
the prime target, and Damwon are
Damwon
pushing forward. It's going to be
Kia
this one
advance
caster
to
minion
championship.
that will be the hero right now as Scout the only one here that can try to defend. JJ up relatively soon, Mako as well. Viper also only 5 seconds, but the Nexus is exposed, and Damwon Kia will move to match point in this
Who
series.
needs Elder buff?
A very
What a
close early
game
game
3.
between the two teams. It felt
Game
like
2.
EG were getting a little bit
Very,
ahead.
very
We did
close.
see them get a couple of very
And as
good
a whole,
fights, but in the fights that mattered most, it was Damwon that
stylistically,
came out
that
on top.
was
That Dragon
two very
stacking
Damwon
ended up
Kia-esque
paying
drafts.
off massively
That
for them.
just Damwon
And
knew how to
I feel like
operate
that if
better.
this game is going to be a battle of team fights, and EDG needs to go back to what they found so much success
So
with so far in this
EDG
tournament.
realistically need
Drafting
to
more for team fights,
think about
drafting more for
what
the
they
5v5,
drafted
and
here.
ultimately
Because
what
we
allowed
look
them to
to
beat Gen
give
G
more tools
was
in
that team
protection
fighting
to
prowess. So
Viper
let's see how they bounce back.
if they are to
Yeah,
win this
ultimately, I like
series.
the gambit that actually
As a whole,
paid off for Damwon
very
and
solid
Champ
game
Select here, leaving
what I
up
saw of it.
all 3 power picks,
And yeah,
allowing the Twisted
Damwon
Fate
Kia
to be
played
taken
well.
over, and then being able